Good evening and welcome to AARP Kentucky. Again, I'm Scott Wagness. I'm the Associate State Director for Communications here at AARP Kentucky. And tonight, we're going to be talking about the COVID vaccine and what some of the experiences that our local volunteers have had with scheduling their appointments and receiving their vaccine and how they felt afterwards. So with us tonight, Jackie White is a member of the AARP Kentucky Executive Council. She's a member of the AARP Louisville Community Team. And also with us tonight, Mr. Charles Williams. Charles is a longtime AARP volunteer who serves on the AARP Executive Council with Jackie and is a member of the Louisville Community Team. So AARP is continuing to strongly urge the state of Kentucky to make certain that individuals 50 and over are receiving priority for the COVID vaccines that are available. This includes residents of nursing homes and long-term care facilities. And with 95% of all the COVID deaths across the country, they're made up of people 50 plus. So again, that is 95% of the individuals that have died are 50 plus across the country. And the science is clear that there is a heightened risk for people over age 50. So right now, some 700,000 Kentuckians have been vaccinated with at least one dose, and more are on the way. And AARP is continuing to collect the information that you need and make sure that it's available on our updated website at aarp.org/KY vaccine. So now, Jackie, let's go to you.
Sure.
Let's talk a little bit about, Jackie. Tell us a little bit about your experience with getting your vaccine and scheduling. How'd you do it?
Well, my friends and I, we network, and we're used to getting together and collaborating over the phone or social media, especially Facebook, Twitter, TV, radio, whatever it takes. We try to find out what's going on when anything important comes up. And then we text message each other, whatever the best solution. So that's what we do with tickets and with shopping. Great sales after Thanksgiving. And that's what we did with this. We took it very seriously. We all my close friends and I were not able to spend Thanksgiving or Christmas with our grandchildren, our kids. So this was top priority to us.
Well, Jackie, tell us a little bit too. Were you scared?
I tell you what, I was excited because of the stress trying to find an appointment. But then there's the issue about, personally for me, I have concerns because I'm allergic to a lot of things. And I had my last flu shot in the fall, I had a reaction to, not a deadly one, but I had some after effects that were uncomfortable and I had to go to bed. That had never happened before, but it was so recent that I was afraid because there's a lot of unknowns about these at the time. We were scheduling ours in January. I'm in the 70 and plus bracket, so I was ahead of some of my friends, but none of us were in the very first the EMS people and the first responders. We were in the 70 plus group that came right after that, as is my husband. But I was worried about the allergies. I was worried about the issue because of the flu shot. And then there was the issue that hit right when it was time for me to get it, which was where we don't have as much as we think. And you have to have that second shot on most of these. And I was worried about whether or not there'd be a second shot available, enough vaccine for my second one. That was my three big ones.
And Jackie, tell us real quickly, I'm sorry, did you get your second dose yet?
Yeah, I got it. They schedule it when you get the first one at the same place. So I knew I would be coming back in 3 weeks. I knew what time, what to do and everything. They set you up and explain it very well. So that I wasn't worried about at all when I left.
Jackie, where did you get your vaccine?
I got mine at Baptist East. I I had originally gone online, and I think probably that was the easiest way at the time, but I ended up doing it over the phone and doing the Baptist East one. And then I had called back and canceled, or went back and canceled the first one that I had. I can't hear you.
I know we talked a little bit before, Jackie.
I know it.
About you had a friend, you had a neighbor that needed some assistance. Tell us a little bit about that story.
Yeah, that's the reason that I had to change it. What happened was, as I said, my husband and I are in the 70 plus group. He's also a veteran, and the Veterans Hospital had called him, the VA called and said, we'll be calling you to schedule your vaccination. So he said, great. Well, then I worried about my neighbor. She's alone. She's up in her 90s. She has allergies like I do, plus a heart condition. She's also hard of hearing and on blood thinners. So, of course, I'm worried about her. And she's very independent minded, but I told her I was going to schedule this. I'd find a way. She could never get through to anybody, and she's not real good on a computer, of course. So I called Baptist East because that's where her primary doctor is. And I went in on one of the numbers and told them that I needed to schedule vaccinations for someone in their 90s. I had no authority over their medical information. I did not have her social security number, but I did have her name, birthday, and all that. And I knew her doctor and all that. I said, can you just help me? They said, just a minute. And a lady came on and asked me her name, her all of her information. She found it on the MyChart database. And she said, are you going to bring her? And I said, yes. And she said, are you 70 or older? I said, yes. And she said, well, would you like for me to schedule one for you at the same time? And then she even offered to do my husband because he qualified in that age group too. And she recommended, they were doing shots from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And she recommended that we go in the mornings between 6 and 8 a.m. because it would be sparkling clean, and it would be little to no line or crowds, of course, at that time of day. And that would be the safest time, in her opinion, for me to take someone that was that much at risk as my neighbor. So the three of us left home at 5:30. We got there at 6, and they were set up and ready. We were the first three in there, and they scheduled the appointment for the 3 weeks later for the next one. And the next one, the three of us went back together and had it again. By the way, my arm was sore. We had 3 different people giving us the vaccination. My arm was sore. Neither one of them didn't bother them a bit. They didn't have any problems at all. The only thing I had was that. And then 3 weeks later, we had the second shot, which is supposed to usually be stronger, I think. Ours was the Pfizer. And we didn't have any problems or anything from that. So I was delighted. I was absolutely delighted.
Jackie, thank you. I'm so glad that worked out. That was an important opportunity, I'm sure, for your neighbor. So, Charles, let's come back to you. Now, you have received your first dose. Is that correct?
I just received my first dose a week ago. Local Walmart. I had a friend. I was a bit frustrated at trying to schedule my appointment, and I'd call all around to the various drug pharmacies and to the local hospitals and the Veterans Administration, and kept coming up against brick walls. While discussing my frustration with another veteran friend, he says, I know someone who might be able to help you. And he got me in contact. He put me in contact with that individual. This guy goes online and does the same exact thing that I did. And presto maggio, I have an appointment. Unfortunately, it was on a Thursday, and I had a very close friend whose mother passed away. She was an 83-year-old woman. And so I had to reschedule that appointment. And it was just so easy rescheduling it. And I went right up here to my local LaGrange Walmart where I got my shot.
Charles, so did you have any reservations about going in and taking the vaccine?
Never had any reservation whatsoever. I had been impressed and continue to be impressed with the amount of transparency. And I'm the kind of person who says that little pinch that I actually felt, Jackie said she had a little pain afterwards, but mine was probably like her husband and the woman who she helped get her shot. It was a little pinch. I actually asked the guy, when are you going to shoot me up? And so he said, it's done. And fortunately, there were very few people. There was no one else in there except the woman who was ahead of me, who, and Scott, you might have that picture, who took a picture of me getting my shot. So that was relatively easy. Look.
There you are.
Yep, it happened so fast. And so I would encourage everyone, because even though I've taken my shot, I've only taken one, and I have my little card here that shows when I will be going down for a next shot on March 26th. It's already scheduled. They schedule at the time of your first shot, and I did the Moderna. And so I'm ready to go.
So you didn't have any, how'd you feel after the shot? Did you have any side effects? Did you feel any different?
No problems, no pain. As a matter of fact, there's something called V-Safe, like vaccine safe. It is a smartphone-based application where individuals can opt in or opt out of. And you go online, you download that app onto your phone. And every day around 2:30, 3 o'clock, 3:30, it varies ever so slightly. I get a 4-question update. Says how you feel. They give me a little smiley face, good, bad, I do that, click on that. Then they ask questions like any swelling, any pain, fevers, 4 simple questions. And those questions are used and dropped into a data bank that gives the CDC information on how you're doing. Now, depending on how I answer a question, the CDC will get back in contact with me if it's something that is really severe in those list of questions. And it's a multiple choice series of questions. Fortunately, it's been none, and smiley face for me ever since I've been.
That's fantastic, Charles. And we've got a comment coming in from Facebook from Ruby McCoy in Lexington, and she says she has received both her shots. Ruby, thank you for watching. And Ruby, if you have any other comments, please, you can place your comments in the Facebook chat. For our guest tonight, Grant, we are not experts, but that is good to know.
We should have read that disclaimer that we are not experts, but if you see at the bottom of the screen, there are site addresses and numbers that you can call to find out anything that you want to know about getting your shot.
And one of the things I think that's important is for the hard of hearing, Kentucky's does have a TTY number that's 855-326-4654 for folks with hearing impairments. But the Kentucky hotline is designed to walk you through the portal process that's available on the state, which is vaccine.ky.gov. So have either, Jackie, I think you used a portal, but did you use the state portal?
I used the one for Norton's and to get in, because I have a doctor at Norton's and doctor at Baptist, so I was actually in both of their systems. I went into Norton's first because my networking friends told me about that one, and then I called.
Uh-oh.
So Charles, let's come back to you. So any advice for folks trying to schedule an appointment? Any strategies about trying to track that down?
Well, fortunately, I was just looking at a news break and I see over here that it says Kentucky has opened up an additional 500. Well, we're up to 567 vaccination sites. And this one talks about 3 have opened in Fayette County, Kentucky. So there are a lot more sites where individuals can go and get their vaccinations. And please do it. Now, just a little caveat here, just because you get your 1 or 2 shots doesn't mean we stop with the social distancing, doesn't mean we stop wearing masks, because even though we may be protected, we know that this virus is transferred by way of droplets. So we may even have been in contact with someone, even though we're protected. And if we're talking to someone, we're not affected by it, but we may expend those droplets to someone else, and we don't want to get anyone else sick. We've got to work our way out of this thing.
Earlier today in the Governor Andy Beshear's press conference, he announced that he would not be rescinding the mask order. That it was to be premature to do so. So the masks have been proven to be effective and certainly advisable. So, well, Charles, I am delighted to have you join us tonight. Is there anything else that you just want to add?
Well, once again, we want to make sure that we go online to that address below, aarp.org/KY vaccine. And of course, there is the hotline number, which is 855-598-2246. And of course, for the hearing impaired, 855-326-4654.
All right, Charles, glad to have. Yes, sir.
One thing, the hours of operation for those numbers are between 8 a.m. and 7 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday. So, all right. Well, Charles, thank you. Think we lost Jackie in the cyber world there for a minute. But what I can tell you is that AARP is committed to bringing you the most current information and to fighting for you as production ramps up and as distribution backs up across the country and in Kentucky, so that everyone who does want to get vaccinated can get vaccinated. So want to thank you for joining us. And we are going to close out the show with a special note from Governor Beshear, who created this video about 2 weeks ago for us. But again, you'll be able to find information right now at aarp.org/KY vaccines. And we keep that web page updated repeatedly. So as the new information becomes available, we're updating the aarp.org KY vaccine site, as well as receiving more information from the state. Jackie,
I don't know. I've been there. I don't know what happened.
We are so happy to have you back. So we're going to wrap it up. Jackie, I'm sorry?
I heard you. You're going to the governor.
We're going to cut to the governor. Anything else you want to add for folks? Any words of wisdom?
No, I just want to say the most stressful thing about it is getting the appointment. And, now that we know there's enough and we've got nothing but time, that shouldn't be the concern it was before. But I know it is for people. But don't worry about it. Once you get the appointment, the rest of it's a breeze.
And you heard it here first from Jackie. Jackie, thank you. Charles, thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, again, visit our website, aarp.org/KY vaccine. We're keeping it updated for you. So, all right, I'm going to let the governor close this out. We've got about 8 minutes left. But I want to thank you all for being available tonight, and also just your service as AARP volunteers, because you all are the best. You give us lots of hours and a lot of support. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, hey, check back. We're going to be talking next week again on Thursday night with some more volunteers and their experiences with their vaccines as these continue to roll out in Kentucky. And we're very excited to see this happening. So good to see y'all. See you next week. Take care.
Thanks, Scott.
All right. Here we go.
This is an exciting time in the Commonwealth. On February 11th, we announced more than 150 vaccination sites throughout the state. This means greater access to Kentuckians in every county through regional sites, Kroger and Walmart stores, our local health departments, and Good Neighbor independent pharmacies. We have proven we are efficient. We are administering vaccines faster than we receive doses week after week. As we increase access through new sites, we are laying the foundation to ensure every Kentuckian receives their shot of hope when supply is available. I know there are still challenges for our older, homebound populations, but Team Kentucky is working hard to find solutions. Programs like the Bluegrass Community Action Partnership offer free round-trip rides to vaccine sites like the Kentucky Horse Park or the Ephraim McDowell Hospital. This is one example of the many options we are building here in Kentucky. My goal as your governor is to ensure every single Kentuckian receives their shot of hope. I promise you we will get there, but we do need patience. But we've created ways for you to stay updated. For those who have access to the internet and are comfortable using it, they can visit vaccine.ky.gov to access the eligibility screening and information tools. For those who prefer access via phone, they can call 855-598-2246. This call center is open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember, just 3 weeks ago, our vaccination site map looked like this. And now, there's a location near almost every county. We are building our efforts, and I can assure you that your shot of hope will come. Remember, we'll get through this. We'll get through this together.